news during the course of the week. So, for everyone that has Ikyala being bank or where they have a bond, where they have a car, where they have a credit card, yeah, so this is for you. So the South African Reserve Bank kept its interest rate unchanged this week. There was a media briefing on that where they announced that there won't be any rate increase or decrease, so everything remains unchanged. While they are warning that inflationary risks persist and that it stands ready to act if they materialize. So if anything changes, yeah, they will let us know whether it's going up or down. But siyabulaleka, guys. I don't know people that are still chilled and not impacted by interest rates going up. I know some people were hoping that it goes down. I guess for it remaining unchanged, it doesn't really make that much of a difference because we're already, yeah, we are strangled already. So I see no choice but to accept. I did touch on the Black Friday and your views and my views on the whole Black Friday frenzy. And then moving on to local news. So the Eastern Cape Department MEC or MEC Fundilekade will be visiting families of the grade 11 and 12 pupils who were shot dead in Mdantsane. Two pupils were from Ebuchule Senior Secondary and the other two were from Mzomhle Senior Secondary School. They were studying for the exams when they were attacked, and three of them died, and one was critically injured and still fighting for their life. So I caught up on this. In fact, I came across the story. I think it was on either Tuesday or Wednesday, but I came across the story. So, what had actually happened, as I have, read, so these boys busy hleli back room like flats in this house, so bayafunda, and then out of the blue kubekho noise, and then kubekho this guy that starts shooting at them. So a witness says this guy who was shooting had a fight with another guy somewhere on the like pa Estradweni. I think they were both driving. Maybe it's a road rage gone absolutely wrong. So they were unfortunately the victims of that argument. That's what the newspaper, that's a story that the newspaper was carrying regarding the story. Okubana someone had a fight with someone else, and then I suspect they didn't go into detail whether the person that was fighting with this guy that ended up shooting these boys ran into the yard yalendlu or something, or the guy just had a noise and then assumed that this is the guy, Naba Ulapa Lomdu and so forth, but started shooting, and unfortunately 3 boys' lives were lost instantly, and one is in critical condition. So yeah, it's said that abantwana bazifundela, and then someone just decides to just, you know, empty their cartridge, their road rage issues, at innocent bystanders. But yeah, it's unfortunate that this has happened. But ke alohlanga lungehlanga, and condolences to the families of the boys that had lost their children, you know, unmercifully, in the hands of someone that could have controlled their temper instead of shooting innocent children. But I guess this is the life and the world that we live in, whereby things happen at the spit of a second, basically, and someone only realizes later if they do feel remorse, towards what they have done. If you're not remorseful, then, but it was unnecessary. It was an unnecessary action. If you fight with someone, don't take it out on other people that were not even part of this thing, no matter how, whether it's mistaken identity or it is the same person, but bystanders mustn't be. If you have an issue with someone, you fight, then maybe just take a break, walk away, and deal with this, and then deal with it, the next day when you're much calmer. And moving on to another story. So the court did strike the 2.2 billion rand case against Machela Koko off the roll over unreasonable delays. The ruling means that the charges against the accused do not deem them innocent or guilty, but rather that charges can be brought against the accused at a later stage. So now the former ESCOM boss, Ukoko Machela Koko, has laid a formal complaint with the public protector after he accused the investigating directorate and the NPA of overstepping the mark by usurping the function of the courts when it concluded and entered into a non-prosecution agreement with the Swedish Swiss robotics automation company ABB, South Africa. So for now, Ingatu Mr. Kokoke is a free man. Charges have been struck off the roll. So yeah, it is what it is. So we will maybe the charge will be brought back, maybe they won't, but we will see as time goes if this as this story or this case continues, if there's maybe more evidence or the state feels that they want to go at it again or they want to appeal. I don't know, but it is what it is. So Margaret Arnolds has been elected the new City of Joburg Council Speaker. If you remember last week, we did speak about a lady that was a speaker. She was from ECOPE. She was a member of ECOPE. However, subsequent being a member of ECOPE, she went on to become a member of another party. And the president or the leader of ECOPE recalled her and said, no, you can't be, and then basically fired her from the job. They recalled her from that position because you can't be serving two parties at the same time. And I think the party that she had joined was part of the coalition there by City of Joburg. So they have a new speaker, and yeah, she's out. So, and there's a lot that is happening in that City of Joburg. There's a lot there. And then also another shocking twist when it comes to the University of Fort. So the director of investigations has been arrested for alleged crimes committed at the institution. So I think it goes back to those incidents that have taken place at Forte where staff has been threatened, some have been shot and so forth. So I think this is one of the stories that we need to follow as it develops. And then in the week, Oscar Pistorius was granted a parole. So Oscar's bid for parole was granted during his appeal in court on Friday. And the Department of Correctional Services spokesperson, Osingaba Kongomala, did explain that Pistorius will be paroled effective on the 5th of January, 2024, which is next year, like the month after December. However, Uriva Steenkamp's mother said the South African Paralympic champion has not been rehabilitated. So this is what she has observed, Diana, that Oscar hasn't been rehabilitated. So I guess that will be seen, but I guess it is a grief of a mother who lost her child in the hands of someone that was supposed to love her and protect her. So it's very sad. And I know that her husband also passed away last month. And so it's not going to be easy for River Steenkamp's mom to accept and get into grips with Oscar being, given granted parole. Yeah, it's going to be another salt in the wood once again. And then ESCOM has put all of us on stage 6. I don't know. For me, low stage 6, somehow it's stage 8 because at the rate the electricity is just, the load shedding is going on now. It's like it's like almost 9 hours out of the day, 9 to 12 hours, depending on the day. Yesterday, umbane umkile, I think from 3 till 6 in the morning. or 12 till 3. Yeah, 12 till 3 in the morning, 8 hours of the morning. And then wahamba ngo 8 till 11. Ne? So that's 6 hours. Wapinda wahamba from 12 to 3, 9 hours. Ne? Or 12. But anyway, it's more than 6 hours. So I don't know why they can just tell us, "Good, you know what? You are just going on to stage 9 or stage 8." I think because we are already are. Because stage 8, now what does it entail if this is stage 6? Because if you look at that schedule of hours as their stage 6, it calculates exactly as hours that we had yesterday, for example. So I think they need to be transparent on the actual stage that we are on, and not I think badlalangati, but it is what it is. But they're saying that we have been put on stage 6. So Minister Ramokgopa says the power utility has to intensify blackouts because they cannot call on the emergency reserves. The minister says the emergency reserves had already been overcommitted when generation slumped due to a series of failures. So sime apho ke ngoko, overcommitment of a generation. I don't know. Last week we did speak on the story that South Africa had borrowed 10 billion rands from, or dollars. Anyway, they borrowed money from Germany. Basically, ukuyeka ukwenza ikhubo. Meanwhile, in Germany, bona, they had voted that they need to bring back equal generation plans. So now, to me, I don't know, someone needs to balance me here. Why, when izethu zizovalwa and then zivulwe eziza overseas, are we going to find ourselves in a position whereby we're importing coal when we have our own coal, like a natural resource? I don't know. I just find it a bit confusing, and it's a bit mind-boggling for me. I just don't understand why we would have to basically shut down our coal supply, and then, but we are not there. Hi there. It's beyond us. So till now, we take whatever that gets decided on our behalf. And then the heat wave, I did mention it at the beginning of the show that the heat wave conditions in various parts of the country are expected to persist until Tuesday. So, kuzoba nje, guys, I don't know whether makube shushu, the sun must be like out, or ilanga libe ngaphansi kwamafu. For me, I'm struggling when ilanga lingaphansi kwamafu. It's like overcast, but you can see the sun, covered by the clouds. And it just becomes so humid, like super, super humid. Ebusuku, like I don't even put anything, like, and like andombati, there's no duvet, there's no shit, nothing. I just can't anymore. I just can't. And then we have our unwelcome visitors, your mosquitoes, and then we have your flies, just doing their own thing. So Bizinje, you are just using your repellents like every 2 seconds. You have to spray the repellent all the time. And it's not nice because although they say it's odorless, those repellents, but you can still smell something, like something strong, like you can smell good. There's a chemical that is in the air somewhere. But so cyclone heat wave, I know in Johannesburg, was it last week or the week before last, they had a hailstorm. I mean, the size of the hail was as big as golf balls, and then like as big as like tennis balls. I know some cars were damaged, but I think here in East London, we don't really get that major hailstorm where you get golf size, hail. I know in the Transkei, the former Transkei, they do get, as I was called, that major hailstorms that destroy like big time, like they destroy, like the roofs of the houses and, businesses and, the roads and so forth. So I guess we just have to prepare ourselves because it did rain a bit on Was it on Saturday? Yes, on Saturday. No, it was on Saturday. No, on Friday eve. On Friday afternoon, it did rain. I really love the rain. I don't know. There's something that water does to me. It just calms me down. I just want to just crawl into bed and just meditate. It just calms me down so nicely. I love the sound of rain as long as it doesn't do any damage. I love the sound of rain at night. Just love, 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 love. And then you would have heard the issue, yeah, truck congestions at Richards Bay. So Transnet says it is accelerating efforts to resolve the truck congestion at the Richards Bay port. It met with the industry, the city of Umhlatuze, and local businesses in a bid to find a solution. Transnet says it's been proposed that a piece of land be procured to station trucks in the interim. And also, President Cyril Ramaphosa did visit the port this week to assess the extent of the crisis. This made major news because apparently there is an issue with road infrastructure there, or some sort of infrastructure. So, yeah, there's like trucks, like Gobi is like there's trucks everywhere. You can't move. There's a truck. You can't turn. There's a truck. So it's just very, very ugly, and it delays. Because that port also is a major route for other countries. Like thing is in Dumplam that need to go to like to Ezinyi countries that are close by, like your Mozambique, your Swaziland, and and so forth. So kukho jive gepaya. So I'm hoping that they do resolve it so that things can move. And then the 16 days of activism for no violence against women and children campaign kicked off yesterday on Saturday. And President Cyril Ramaphosa was in Durban leading a walk at Raising a Boy Child launch. So I guess this is their theme for this year, for the 16 days of activism of no violence against women and children. So I did allude to this earlier on in the show that uh, there's a, I don't know whether government is doing its best or has done enough to curb such. And also the safety fraternity, which is your police. What is their role? What are they doing? Because abuse, whether you're married or not, whether it's your child or not, abuse is abuse and it shouldn't be tolerated. You still hear people that they get abused by their husbands and then they go to the police station and then they get told, ambani guys, no solve izinto zenu endlini. Such things, they shouldn't happen in this day and time. And there are people that violate they're in violation of protection orders. And, nothing really gets done. There's restraining orders. People violate those because they feel they're above the law. They're going to do what they want to do to whoever they want to do it to. That mentality, those stunts should be nipped at the bud. And I think the police should play active roles, because kuyaziwa ukuba utata lamzi uyathanda ubetha phaya endlini ngexesha elithile okanye once asele kwenzeka into ethile. Okanye umama phaya uthi xa sele avunguza abantwana ababetha abathini abathini abathini. Because I guess we kind of, when we say activism of no violence against women and children, we always think that, I think it's a topic that hasn't been really touched upon, whereby you'll find that we do have women that abuse their children when they are intoxicated or when they are frustrated. And those things, they don't get reported, because they are supposedly not deemed to be violence against the child or another woman. So those are some of the things. I'm not saying that men should be exempt to this, but also women shouldn't be exempt to this, you know, because some women allow their partners, husbands, boyfriends, brothers to abuse their children because ikhona into amambe ngayo kanye there's always something, you know, or you find that mhlambe umntana ogcinisiweyo mhlambe ka-cousin, and then they feel good they can take advantage of that child and so those are the things that should be really be looked upon, and emphasis should be put on those things. It can't just be, you know, one glove fits all type of thing, but also there's those other isolated cases that also need to be looked into. And the past couple of months, I think it's been what now? It's been 2 months. I stand to be corrected, but I think it's like the second month now. So there's that story that has been making rounds. I think it was first written by one of the national papers about, you know, the Department of Employment and Labor, the tender that went out to create employment, and ministers trying to swindle that tender, demanding certain amounts and so forth. So, and then the DG was suspended because apparently it's alleged that he was the one facilitating Yonke Lendo for this is it Tuja? Yes, Tuja Capital to get this tender. But so basically, businessman Mthunzi Mdwaba stands by his allegations that some government ministers asked him for a bribe. One of them being the Minister of Employment and Labor, or Minister Ngesi, says he'll file court papers to silence Mdwaba's claims that he solicited a bribe. Ngesi also wants the court to halt the 5 billion rand agreement concluded between Unemployment Insurance Fund and Tuja Capital Fund. I did come across a media briefing, but I was busy with something else. I couldn't really listen to that press briefing, whereby the minister was basically, you know, giving his side of the story. I know that the Minister of Higher Education was also wanting to open a case against the same businessman. And also the SG of the ANC was also implicated in this as well. Nah, yeke watwasa kubana no, this is not on. You can't be just, you know, dropping names saying that, you know, we want to bribe you and so forth when it's not true. So yes, so there's that. So I'm not sure how they're gonna manage to resolve this, but it is what it is. So we're still gonna follow up on the story and maybe get someone from, you know, the minister's office to just, you know, give us an update on what is happening, and yes, and what the resolution will be and where they stand with, you know, legal claims and so forth, you know, filing of court papers and so forth. Because once it goes to court, yeah, I think gloves will be off. So, and last but not least, so for the first time in 7 weeks, the Gaza Strip has clear skies with no smoke billowing from Israeli airstrikes. Israel and Hamas struck a deal to pause fighting and allow for humanitarian aid to enter Gaza. As part of the deal, Hamas will also exchange hostages for several Palestinian prisoners held without trial by Israel. So I was seeing videos of you know, people being happy that there are no bombs, there's nothing, and you know, so it was quite interesting, I guess. You know, when you are in a war zone and suddenly there's no, you know, there's a ceasefire for a while, you kind of get that hope and relief that things will change. And I've been seeing, you know, disturbing and horrendous pictures of people, you know, being dug up, you know, in collapsed structures. And I, like this week, I saw this boy, I think his older brother was holding him, and it's just his, you know, his hand, and then the brother obviously is dead. And you know, it's painful to watch. no matter how much we are going through in our country, I guess we have to be grateful that we are not in that situation whereby there's like bombs everywhere. Wherever you go, there's bombs. Like go to walk and Oxford, there's a bomb. Like I don't know how we would survive such. I'm not saying Nabo in, there in Gaza, Hamas, and in Israel, they're used to it. But it's, I don't think, I think that trauma will remain with you for the rest of your life because seemingly they are not. I don't see like the prospects of the ceasefire being prolonged in order to to reach certain agreements. Yeah, it's just a mess. It's just a mess, and unfortunately, civilians are always the ones that you know that are victims of such wars. So if nothing is being done, because you see on people's statuses, people that are based, abroad, that anyone that is supporting genocide, because they are basically labeling this as, as a genocide. They must be taken to the ICC the same way other leaders of other countries get taken to ICC to account for their role, in certain wars against humanity, And now I'm asking myself, why are they not doing such? Why are they not, uh, calling out those people and saying, no, man, you cannot be doing this to people that are innocent. And yeah, I guess wonke umuntu ufuna kuviwe ngaye, so there's not really some consensus that they can reach whereby they can somehow coexist and live in harmony. So ininzi mani into enzekayo elizweni, and it's just sad that there are children that are homeless now, children that are that what's the word, wasn't get the hammer, you know um it's sad when it comes to children. I think that's where you just touch my heart, because children bona umntana uyazidlalela and then you get hit by a missile. I saw another picture of a child having both legs amputated, and nakwezi sibhedlela akho safe because you don't know when they're going to launch another missile and hit the hospital, because they've done that before. So it's just painful to watch such such things, and playing out, and seemingly no one is taking a stand and saying no, like I don't know, where are the you know so-called first world countries that are supposedly running the world? Why are they not doing anything? you know like in Masiziyeke loyalties, where your loyalties lie with who or what. Now let's speak about the people that are suffering, because there'll always be loyalties when it comes to politics. But when it comes to people about innocent being killed in jail, look at Syria. I mean, like it's war. Go. You get children that were born when the war started and then they became soldiers in the war. That is not right. It's just not right. But we shall see ukuthi iyozala ngomoni, you know because ikhona nje izinto that it would be so easy um to, like, they always, like, I remember with Afghanistan, it was so easy for them to go there and do whatever that they needed to do there. But into eboyisayo kulena, you know into nabo eboyisayo. But ke kunzima kwamanye amazwe, kunzima. And yeah, I'm hoping that at some point that they do reach a proper truce whereby they will not enter into war again and let people that are innocent just die nje for no reason. And with that said, that was the end of our current affairs. And from 4 o'clock till 4:30, we are going to have people from the Black Hawk Foundation. And then we're going to just, chat to them and then take it from there. And then for now,